For the sake of training, it's really important that we know where the hide is sometimes. Now, Rifle is a fully certified dog. He's good on wilderness. He's crime scene. That includes buildings, fire scenes, junkyards. It could be even something as a thumbprint of blood is what he'll go in on. This is Rifle coming out. He's 4.5 years old. He
and also a German Shepherd.
Also a German Shepherd. He does get a little excited. He likes to talk. The original Talon's Fair CMP started off in Cape Breton in Sydney Forks, and it was the office was in the basement of the house. And the kennels was out in the backyard. So it was
not only any house, your house.
Yeah, that's right, our house, and that was where everything started off. My dad had written the manuals and whatnot, and I thought I was the luckiest kid on earth because I worked for the RCMP. The pups up until they're 6 months old had to be taken care of and kept busy in that. So they told me that was my job. You have to take care of those dogs. Perfect, I got a job. So I would go and take care of them. Little did I know I had nothing to do with taking care of the pups. It was a place to put me to keep me busy and out of trouble everywhere else. But on every payday, I got 25 cents. So I started with one dog it was back in the end of the 70s that I had the dog tracking. And I thought there had to be more to all this stuff. I was in the 80s by then, and there's got to be more than just tracking. And I started to see a lot of these disaster situations cropping up, and I said, well, maybe I should find out some more, because I kind of like to have some fun with it. The Nova Scotia Canine Rescue Team was started in 1996, and at that point I said, let's get the team together. We did. We had a fully certified team through ARDA, American Rescue Dog Association, that year. Kind of went up and went down, because some people, when they start to join a team, other things come up in life. They have kids, they have different things, so it varied in numbers. So it continued to work like that. We got became involved with some of the search and rescue organizations around. They had different requirements, in the meaning that you only had to do is the other thing you had to do is just do your level 1 tracking. That was it. But I wanted to do more. So it was outside of the parameters that they worked in. So we stayed separate as a team so we could do the specialty work.
The Nova Scotia Canine Rescue Team came about at a time when the level of certification for volunteer ground search and rescue dogs was not where it is today. Wanting to do more, Doug's group of volunteers trained largely under U.S. organizations, focusing on the recovery and location of human remains. The group's training has led them to be called upon to provide expertise internationally.
We did a presentation at an FBI conference in the States where we had Smithsonian, we had all these different types of people in there. And what we're using for a demonstration with our search dogs is we had a skull that had been brought in from the university there that was 100 years old, and we had hidden that way up in the corner of a field, and we sent the dogs out. And the dog was one, and then when the dog went out, located it, came back, the people at the Smithsonian said, we're getting rid of all our gear and we're getting the dog because it's doing better than everything we can do. So it's kind of neat. There's a lot of respect for dogs that are out there. So we're going to take this and we're going to just hide it in a couple spots out in the area. This is one that's just a large find. It's a large container that I just leave. I'll show you what I do with it. Is this one here. The material is inside this container and it has holes in it. So I will hide this. So what we have to do is make sure that the dogs are used to finding not just small little amounts of odor, but to get used to large amounts of odor. Here's a good spot. What have we got? Okay. So I'll put one in here. And what we try to do is we vary it. So we'll put a semi-buried one, we'll try to put one on the surface, and sometimes we'll even put one up high. We'll use either one of these little bottles here, or we've even used, say, Q-tips, and just had the scent on the Q-tip, and we'll put a Q-tip in here. So it's very minute amount, but they get used to finding all different amounts.
Typically, who is it that's calling?
Desperate families that have tried everything else and perhaps have gone through the cycle, and there's just nothing more that the agencies that are there for this. There's nothing more that they can do. And so, you know, they may have other areas or other ideas, whatever. And that's generally who get.
We're their last hope.
Yeah.
So when we get contacted, somehow they find out about us because we aren't really publicly known very well. We say, look, okay, we can go, but on one condition: you have to talk to whatever the enforcement agency controlling the area, whoever they are, whether it be the local police or S&P, whatever. Make sure you contact them and make sure we have their approval to go in. Because again, all searches are criminal investigations until proven otherwise. You know, so they want to make sure that they don't have someone coming in that's really going to mess up, you know, things for them or in their case. So once they contact them and say yes, then we say, okay, we'll go in. It's just as important to a family to know that the person isn't in an area. So that's just as an important search as one that has someone in it.
Yeah.
So we can say, okay, no, it's not in
You
here.
cleared that area.
Well, I tell you, we're their last hope. And it's kind of hard. You look in a mom's eyes and say, we couldn't find your daughter.
My most memorable search was one that we were called in to just clear an area. It was a very intensive search. Not only did they have the police dogs in there, they had several search teams over several weeks. The community was just absolutely phenomenal. There was people just flooding the areas trying to find this person. And it went on for weeks. And there was one area that they thought, okay, you know, he could have crawled under a bush or whatever, and just not really visible with the naked eye. And so they called us in to clear this area. And it still gives me goosebumps to tell the story that us going in with our dog gave that mom the courage to allow that process to go from search and recovery to the next advanced stage, which was probably criminal. And for her to have that kind of trust in what our dogs did, it just kind of blows your
Just
mind.
to know that, okay, he isn't there.
Yeah, and
It's
she just,
something
it's like,
worse.
okay, it's time, and I can do this.
So sometimes this is really about giving people closure.
It is, very much so.
Good boy, what a good boy, yeah, what a good boy, good boy.
Like bobbing for apples.
I mean, he obviously loves playing in the water.
Oh,
Yeah.
he loves it. He
but
loves it.
Water must present a challenge for searches.
We just, when we were just in the States doing our certifications, we were doing water work as well. And what happens with the scent is the scent comes up to the surface and floats.
Okay.
So it suddenly gives a great big scent signature out there.
Oh.
So we'll train we'll use brooks and that, maybe, you know, we'll get the dog going downstream and the dog will pick up on the scent that's coming down on the surface of the water. So water it's a whole different game when you're training to do that. They're working from the boat and they go down and they'll indicate, now if I'm in a boat, the wind's coming this way, we'll go back and forth with the boat, and all of a sudden the dog will say, oh, there's something there. We will mark it with the GPS and continue. Then we'll turn and come back. Same thing will happen. We'll mark it, And if we look at all the marks, it will form a cone.
Oh, okay.
So that
You can see
cone
the
of scent is
direction to
coming
travel.
out. So at the front of that cone, we know there's the body.
What kind of scent do you use?
We use various different types of scent. We can use anything from hair to, you know, I had a little accident and I tried to shave
Oh,
my
boy,
leg
did you ever.
with a chainsaw.
Yep.
It doesn't work well.
No,
so
no.
that was all right. That was stupidity with not wearing chaps when I should have. So we go to the hospital. I'm on the table and everybody's coming in, chainsaw accident, oh, look. And I'm laying on the table, Kathy's sitting off to one side, and they put the dressings, I had the packing and everything on it, so when they take it all off. But then Kathy says, what are you doing with all those bandages? Why? Can we have them?
And they're looking at you like you're like weird axe murderers or something, right?
What do you mean you want all those bandages? Yeah, we can. This is what we do with them. Okay, we'll put it in a patient bag and just walk out the door and don't say anything. So I mentioned about the my chainsaw accident, and this was what had come up from them. So that was and these are broken bottles that this thing fell. This is a small bottle with just a little bit of the scent in it. We have holes in the top, so we'll hide that out there and the dog will get to find this. We have something as simple as a small 4x4 pad. that someone had been used. Someone had a little bit of a wound and it was bleeding. So we'll take this and we'll just freeze it. And we have different stages of decomposition. It could be fresh. We can even use items, for instance, if you go to your dentist and the packing that they put inside your mouth there, we can take that packing because it's full of all the scent that you have and produce, and that actually decays the same as everything else would. So when we bring it home, we freeze all the items, so we can freeze that age of it right there. We know this is 24 hours old. If I take it out and leave it out for 2 days, now we know it's 2 days older. If he does get a straight scent coming down to him, he will go straight in and not bother with the
Well, that makes sense,
bracketing.
because you'd want the dog to
If he
find
knows
it.
he's going to stay on it when he's running in, they'll just take the shortest route in.
I suspect that we will notice a change in his behavior when he picks up the scent, too.
Yeah. He ranges pretty good, as you can see. Because we're also looking for articles and different items that could be out here as well.
Right.
We are retired, so we aren't going to be chasing the dog, for long. We'll probably, once we can't chase the dog in the woods, we'll go to the boat work. So that way I can just sit in the seat, and that's good. But then we have to make sure that people carry this on.
The rescue team relies on volunteers. The volunteers who have the time to dedicate to the standards of training Doug expects. Volunteers who have dogs who want to work, who enjoy work, and of course with handlers who enjoy being outside. A young farm veterinarian from Ontario who's recently moved to the Annapolis Valley is one of the newest members of the team.
They're all staring at you funny.
I see that. No, they've been amazing.
They're wondering what you're about to say.
Jeez. The team's been amazing, super supportive and welcoming. So
Why did you want to join this?
it's just an amazing opportunity. I love working with my dog. We work really well as a team, so it's nice to be able to do something with that and to be able to help people in that.
How'd you find out about it?
How did I find out about it? Actually, we started doing scent detection for sport.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so we took,
that makes sense.
Yeah, we took classes with Doug and learned about.
Is he any good?
He's amazing.
Is he?
Oh
Are you
my-
just saying that because he's standing right
I
there?
am honestly, I can honestly say I'm not. He's
All right, okay.
Absolutely. It's been amazing. I've learned
And so then
so
he
much.
let you know about this.
Yeah, I kind of learned about that, so I started kind of volunteering as one of their quarries that hides from the dogs to find and that, and it kind of grew
Cool.
from there. Yeah.
Well, I guess we should let Charlie do his thing, because otherwise Charlie's not going to be very happy. Oh, look, there goes the tail. You heard your name.
Oh, this guy loves to work. This guy, yeah, he's a pretty cool dog.
Did you find this challenging to teach, Charlie?
Not when you have a really good teacher. No, he's pretty good. Leave it. Training him was the easy part. Training me was the hard part. Go find. Did you find something? You got it? Where is it? Show me. Yeah, good job. Good boy. Good job. Yeah, good job. Good boy.
Go in and detail a little bit there.
Here, Charlie. Here, Charlie.
So after a while, you get to learn to read all the different dogs and their signals. So his tail is a good indicator. He knows he's
Did
in
you
the
find
scent.
something? Where is it? Show me. Yeah, right there. Good job.
So what we would do is we'd just get the handler and say, okay, the dog is in scent area. I'd go in and help the dog to detail a little bit. So that builds the relationship with you and your dog, that you work together to make it fun.
Good job. Go find.
So she's doing great with her dog. It's nice to have team members come in that really have that love of working with the animals, working with the dogs, and it really shows up. Someone comes in just because they said, I want that title on the jacket,
Yeah.
versus someone that just wants to work with the animals. And it's great to see it. There's nothing nicer than taking your dog out and doing something with it, working with it, and then doing a useful job at the same time. It's great. You see him kind of the back end hopping a little bit now, so he's just getting over his
Well done.
Good boy. All right. When they're working, they're really serious. They know it's working. They there's no kind of clowning around a little bit. And then there's the playtime. He knows that there's people standing around here, and he's got an audience.
And he's a golden retriever.
And he's a golden. No, we actually call that a blonde German Shepherd.
Right,
Okay,
yeah.
and we're just the ears haven't come up yet, so. She's the only one with a dog that's not a German Shepherd right now, so we have to have fun with picking on him. Sometimes what happens if Kathy's not playing right, Rifle will put her on timeout. It's taken us all over the place. We've been from one end of Canada to the other. We've been in Newfoundland, Vancouver Island. We've been down. I'm vice president of Search and Rescue Dogs of the United States. And because of that, I used to do a lot of evaluating in the States. And there's one area we go into was Colorado. So I had been down there working with the dogs and their teams in the mountains. So the next year I said, well, why don't you come down with me? It's just, I'd like you to help work with the teams. So that first introduced her to traveling and on the road with all these different search teams. It was an eventful trip that year.
Yes, it was.
And she'll explain why that one was.
Well, he kept telling me, and as we were training, from the get-go, before anything, he would call me Grasshopper because of
The Karate Kid movie.
yeah, there you go. So anyway, I was just that kind of a student, that I inherited the name Grasshopper. And so he told me that when we got to Rifle, Colorado, that he was going to ask me some questions, and I better have the right answers or I was going to get pushed over the cliff. And since this guy had also thrown my keys out into a field with waist-high grass,
You thought anything was possible.
I thought anything was possible, so I made sure that I had all of my answers just so, and did all my homework. Little did I know that the question was going to be, will you marry me?
At 10,000 feet.
Yeah, at 10,000 feet.
And obviously you said yes.
Well, and apparently, I'm just thinking now, maybe he asked me at 10,000 feet because it was going to be all downhill from there. Get higher than that.
So her next dog that she got there was called Rifle.
Rifle,
That's
after
where we
Rifle,
based it. That's
Colorado.
Rifle,
There you go.
Colorado.
So Rifle is named for your engagement.
Yes.
Well, that's
Back. Leave it. No? All right, no more
You're
playing.
gonna play a game.
Come on up. We'll go back and get the.
He got away with it a couple of times, so now he figures he's going to
It's
be
like
the master
kids.
of the ball.
So it's easier to work it where there's less distraction.
Hey,
And this is tack. How old's tack now?
5 and a bit.
All right.
Months.
enough that? Oh, months. Okay, I was gonna
Tack goes to sleep at night, wakes up bigger in the morning. The reason why we went to the States for certification was we certify under International Police Work Dog Association. And they have 1,800 dogs. And it's an organization that's widely respected across North America. So I went from being the evaluator and instructor to, okay, I need to go somewhere else, and I'll just be the student and you test me, which was a new experience as well, because I think all teachers or evaluators should have to go through that process to learn what it's like to be on the other side, the receiving side sometimes. But it's been great. We've done everything from water work to cadaver work. All sites were, these sites were 80 years old to 30 years old. We just worked a case relatively recently here in the province there where it was a 31-year-old case. If we're working on locating a buried subject, we don't know. We can't say the find is here. All we can say is the dog is showing a mild, medium, or strong expression of interest. And that means that, okay, the dog is saying, it's giving me the trained alert that we've practiced with all along and the one he's been tested to. So he finds the item and we can say, the dog is showing an expression of interest here, and then at that point we pass it on to the authorities in that area. We don't interfere anymore. Our job at that point is to secure the area. We'll go around the area with usually flagging tape or one of the tapes of some sort, to secure the area so no one can come in, and we will stay there until the authorities come in and take over the site. So we make sure that no one tampers with the site in the meantime. So sometimes we can be there a while. The whole idea, this is where our job ends, and we don't try to be super sleuths or anything else. We do our job. We just need to know at the end of the day that, okay, did we do our job? Yes, we did our job. Thanks, great. He gets his paycheck, and everybody's happy.
The team training and certification is ongoing. The group regularly travels to the United States to certify dogs on the team and the handlers, learning new skills and testing their limits.
Because you guys just came back from me.
We just came back yesterday, or on Monday. And
Congratulations.
It was good. It's great going down there all the time. It's a good organization. There's lots of help there. We all stumble. I got to find out what it's like to be the student as opposed to the instructor, and that's humbling. But we get through it. It's a big lesson on practice what you preach. You know, this is what you tell everybody, so I should take my own advice. So you learn that.
But we came home with one more dog certified in land, human remains detection, and Rifle did his, with Doug, did his 40-acre live find search. So he is now HRD and live find certified.
We've been busy with the dogs. We love what we do. And you say retired. Well, retirement, I should go back to work for a rest. Because I think we're more active now than we've ever been in our lives. Yeah. And we aren't there for the glory or all the hype and newsprint and all that stuff. It's actually the opposite. You know, we try to stay far away from it if we can, because it's just, I guess it's the love of working with the dog that makes us continue doing it. We almost take on the emotions of the family. We take a genuine concern in doing this search for them. And because of that, it takes a toll. It really does. And it's the hard part of it, you know, and we go past that and we go do our job. When we're working, it's fine. It's great. We're in a different zone. It's when we stop. You know, we stop and we talk to that family, the mom or the dad or whatever, and the look in their face. So we have to know we gave everything we've got and everything we had to try to help them. So we can go away saying we gave it 110%. And that's the satisfaction it comes with two things. Number one, we know we did the job, and we know our dogs work great. You know, and our dogs are our other half of the equation. And it's they know when we're working. They know when we did something right or wrong, because we tell them. And when I say my logo for when I'm teaching is Teach the Canine, talk with the animals. It's not talk to the animals, it's talk with the animals.